Deep beneath the ocean's surface, in the crushing darkness of the abyssal depths, lies evidence of humanity's most profound discovery. The footage captured reveals technology so advanced that it continues to function decades after its catastrophic arrival on Earth's seafloor. What emerges from this underwater graveyard challenges everything previously understood about extraterrestrial contact and the limitations of alien engineering. The massive disc-shaped craft stretches approximately 50 meters in diameter, its hull bearing the unmistakable signs of both impact damage and decades of marine corrosion. Yet beneath the layers of rust and marine growth, strange hieroglyphic markings remain clearly visible, etched into metallic surfaces that demonstrate a metallurgy far beyond human capability. The vessel's design follows no earthly engineering principles, with organic curves integrated seamlessly into mechanical structures that suggest a civilization capable of merging biology with technology in ways that remain incomprehensible. What sets this discovery apart from theoretical speculation is the undeniable presence of non-human skeletal remains scattered throughout the crash site. These are not the bones of any terrestrial species. The elongated skulls, oversized eye sockets, and bone structures showing evolutionary adaptations for different atmospheric conditions provide irrefutable evidence of extraterrestrial life. The rib cages display proportions that could never belong to human anatomy, while the hands show additional joints and finger lengths that speak to an entirely different evolutionary path. The alien bodies found at the crash site tell a story of desperation and tragedy. Some remain remarkably preserved within protective suits that showcase technology centuries ahead of current human capabilities. Others lie as skeletal remains, their bones arranged in positions suggesting they died attempting to escape their failing craft. The non-human dental structures, visible in several skulls, show evidence of advanced dental work using materials that remain unidentified by any known periodic table. Perhaps most remarkable is the craft's central data storage device, a crystalline structure that defies all conventional understanding of information technology. This alien equivalent of a black box continues to pulse with energy signatures that suggest active data transmission, even after decades of saltwater submersion. The device appears completely unaffected by the corrosive marine environment, its geometric perfection maintained through some form of advanced material science that prevents any deterioration. The signals emanating from this crystalline black box follow patterns that suggest deliberate communication protocols. Analysis of the energy signatures indicates the device is not merely storing information but actively broadcasting it, possibly attempting to contact other vessels or installations of the same civilization. The electromagnetic patterns show a complexity that implies the transmission contains vast amounts of data, potentially including star charts, technological specifications, and perhaps even the final messages of the crew. Within the craft's command center, the alien pilot seats tell their own story of a species adapted for space travel. The ergonomics are designed for bodies with longer torsos and different joint configurations than human anatomy. Control surfaces show signs of bioluminescent interfaces, suggesting the aliens may have used living light rather than electronic displays to operate their vessel. The holographic projectors, though now mostly non-functional, occasionally flicker with ghostly images that provide glimpses into the final moments of the crew. The propulsion system reveals engineering principles that challenge current understanding of physics. The massive crystalline core that once powered the craft shows no signs of radioactive decay or conventional fuel consumption. Instead, the energy pattern suggests the aliens had mastered some form of zero-point energy extraction or dimensional power tapping that enabled interstellar travel. Even in its dormant state, the core occasionally displays faint energy fluctuations that indicate the underlying technology remains intact. Evidence throughout the crash site suggests the aliens were conducting scientific research on Earth's environment prior to their demise. Laboratory sections contain specimen containers holding samples of terrestrial flora and fauna, preserved in solutions that have maintained their integrity for decades. The research equipment indicates a systematic study of planetary conditions, atmospheric composition, and biological diversity. Data storage devices contain what appear to be comprehensive biological surveys of Earth's ecosystem, suggesting the craft was part of a long-term observation mission. The navigation center provides the most compelling evidence of the craft's extraterrestrial origin. Star charts displayed on corroded screens show constellation patterns that could only be viewed from locations far beyond Earth's solar system. Course plotting systems indicate trajectory calculations for interstellar distances, with reference points that suggest the vessel originated from a star system dozens of light years away. The navigation instruments are designed for three-dimensional space travel through regions where gravitational fields from multiple stellar bodies would create navigation challenges impossible to encounter within our solar system. Personal effects found near the skeletal remains offer glimpses into the alien civilization's cultural development. Devices that appear to serve as identification tags or personal ornaments are constructed from materials that show no corrosion despite decades of saltwater exposure. These artifacts suggest a society that had mastered advanced synthetic compounds and metallurgical processes that could create materials immune to environmental degradation. The medical bay reveals surgical instruments designed for non-human anatomy, with cutting edges and manipulation tools scaled for different bone density and tissue composition than terrestrial life forms. Biocontainers still hold specimens floating in preservation fluids that have maintained their clarity and chemical stability for decades. Medical displays, when they occasionally function, show physiological data in symbol systems that bear no relationship to any human language or mathematical notation. Most haunting are the personal logs stored in crystalline memory devices scattered throughout the craft. When power fluctuations occasionally activate the holographic projectors, brief glimpses of the alien crew become visible. Their faces, though clearly non-human, display expressions that transcend species barriers. The fear and determination visible in their final recordings speak to a universal experience of facing mortality, regardless of evolutionary origin. The escape pod launch bay provides evidence of the crew's final desperate attempts at survival. Several mounting brackets show signs of emergency launch procedures, with blast damage indicating hasty evacuation efforts. However, the twisted metal and failed launch mechanisms suggest these escape attempts were unsuccessful. No evidence exists of any crew members surviving to reach the surface, making the crash site a complete tomb for an entire alien expedition. The communication array extending from the craft's hull continues to function at minimal levels, its crystalline transmission nodes still configured in the complex geometric patterns that enable interstellar communication. The faint energy signatures detected from these nodes suggest the array may still be attempting to broadcast distress signals or location data back to the alien's home world. The implications of these ongoing transmissions raise questions about whether other members of their civilization are aware of the crash and the fate of their expedition. What makes this discovery so significant is not just a proof of extraterrestrial life, but the demonstration that alien technology can function on timescales that dwarf human engineering achievements. The fact that systems within the craft continue to operate after decades underwater suggests a level of technological sophistication that could reshape human understanding of material science, energy generation, and information storage. The crash site represents more than an archaeological discovery. It provides a window into a civilization that achieved interstellar travel and conducted systematic scientific research on distant worlds. The technological artifacts scattered across the seafloor demonstrate engineering principles that could advance human science by centuries, if the underlying mechanisms could be understood and replicated. Yet perhaps the most profound aspect of this underwater graveyard is the reminder that even beings capable of crossing interstellar distances are not immune to accident and mortality. The skeletal remains scattered among their advanced technology serve as a sobering testament to the universal nature of exploration's risks, regardless of the technological capabilities of those brave enough to venture into the unknown reaches of space. The signals still emanating from the alien black box continue to pulse in the darkness, carrying messages across the void to recipients who may never know the fate of those who sent them.